Hey friends, welcome back to Homeschool-ology. If you're a subscriber, welcome back and thank you for being here. Today's video is the celebration of 1,000 subscribers. So thank you to all of you who are here and come back and chat with me every week. And I am so excited for this milestone for us as a community, and thank you all. I have enjoyed it so much, just learning, getting to know you guys and learning from you guys and getting to share with you guys, you know, what we do around here. And the ones that really make my heart happy is when it, you know, somebody is like, man, you know, this was so helpful to me, or I'm just starting out and I was so nervous and you've helped me feel a little bit more confident, or you've shown me that it's not as difficult as I thought it was going to be. And that is all of the reasons why I started this community and this channel, was because I wanted to help people who were just starting out, and especially, you know, we are coming close to those high school years, and when I was looking for the content for me for moving into middle grades and upper grades, I just wasn't finding as much as I had hoped that there would be. And so luckily in this past year that I've been here and sharing with you guys, there, you know, we found more of us, and you know, more of us are coming towards that age. And so I just think this is just such a fantastic time for homeschoolers to, you know, be homeschooling, and for new people to be coming to homeschooling, because there just really is so many people out there that want to share, that want to help, that want to make it easier for everyone to homeschool who has the ability and chooses to do so. So thank you again to all of you who are here, subscribed and coming to hang out and chat with me. Just in case you're not new, or you're not a subscriber and you are new here, my name is Nikki. I'm a homeschooling mom of 4. I've currently got a 7th grader, 3rd grader, and 5 and 3-year-old doing combined pre-K level. We do homeschool year round, so they're going to be that again, you know, they're going to stay that age until August, even though a lot of people, you know, technically we have a rising 8th grader, and a rising 4th grader, and a rising official kindergartner. He will be registered come August, and then my daughter will just be along for the ride. So if you haven't been with me recently, that's kind of where we are right now. And so today's video, I will be sharing the details about the giveaway at the end, but today's video is Q&A style. So as a, you know, celebration of us, you know, I figured maybe you guys wanted to learn a little bit more about me, and so I put out request for questions, and these are the questions that I got, and I'm going to answer them for you guys today. Okay, so I am going to be like looking down at my phone and my computer for the questions, so forgive that a little bit, but let's just jump right into the questions. So, okay, first up, the first question was, how do you schedule your curriculum for your older children? And this is a great question, and definitely I know something that you guys are probably really interested to see. So I will have a video coming up on it for what we will be, you know, how I will be scheduling out our new curriculum for the new coming year. Because as my oldest daughter gets older, you know, she starts to take on a little bit more and more, you know, things that she's required to do, and it does take a little bit more time. So I of course will be addressing that, but that's a video all to itself. So to kind of answer this one as best I can, I do have a video from when we were putting together curriculum last year, and a video about like scheduling a week that I will post down in the comments for you guys. That kind of explains my process of like what I expect of my older two, and what and how I go about doing that. So I do have some videos kind of explaining that. So just to kind of give you a brief synopsis here, we basically create a weekly checklist. We do good with checklists, but it can't be a daily checklist. Like it has to be per week. And basically we homeschool 3 to 4 days a week, depending. We have co-ops on Mondays, so we definitely homeschool Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then every other Friday, or some Fridays, some Fridays, my husband has off of work every other Friday, so we sometimes will like do things with him or get stuff done around the house, and we won't necessarily get to school that day. So it's like a 3 to 4 days a week. But I in the plan with me video, which I've linked down below, I have a little chart that I fill out each week, and the goals that we have to accomplish that week, and then we just try to fit them in as we go along, in between all the things that we have. So that system has worked well for us this year. I'm going to be revamping it a little bit for next year because things have changed. Obviously, things change all the time. And of course, I'll be posting that video when it comes out. But that's kind of what I generally do at this point. So I had a related question that was to this, was how much time do I spend with my kiddos one-on-one, my 2 older kiddos one-on-one. So since it's kind of related, I'm going to go ahead and answer that one here now for you guys. I would say we homeschool. So I plan on doing like a day in the life where I actually keep times, time stamps for you guys so you can see. But I typically spend most of my time with my oldest. Out of the 2 of them, most of the time with my oldest, because her personality is such that she likes to have me close by. So I'm not necessarily helping with her, but I am sitting next to her. I am giving her a lot of she doesn't like to wait till the end to know if she got a problem, right or wrong. She wants to know kind of then. So I do kind of sit by her. I'm sometimes doing other work, but I am there to make sure, if she has a question or if she wants to check to make sure her answer is correct or any of that. So I probably spend most of my time with her. I know we spend maybe close to 45 minutes to an hour reading every day because we do love to learn through books. So that is a big part of our day. We do read a read aloud for language arts, and then we read several read alouds for history right now. And so we do spend that time. And then the rest of the time she's just kind of doing her work while I'm nearby. With my middle daughter, I probably spend maybe an hour with her tops, and probably not even that much. We spend about 30 minutes on pinwheels every day, and that's like the main bulk of what she's doing. And then she's just a little bit more of an independent child. She prefers to do all of her work and then come have me check it. So she tends to do those just a little bit more on her own. So I don't necessarily sit by her as much as I sit by my older. But we do typically get school done within like 2 to 4 hours every day. So, and like I said, during that 2 to 4 hours, I'm not necessarily working with them, but that is when I'm going to be in this room. But I could be answering emails or answering comments or planning something out or working on something else while I'm during that time. So, but as I said, I do plan on doing a video where I'm like walking through exactly how much time I spent that day with each child so you guys can see that. So, moving on to the next question. Okay, one of them I got was, what is the name of your business? My baking business, which is Alchemy Baking Co. Alchemy because if you don't know, I was a science teacher back in my pre-children days. So that was what I went to school for, was secondary education, chemistry. And so my husband's a chemical engineer and I just have a love of chemistry. And so Alchemy just kind of felt right for that. I am starting to take more of a step back from that because I do have a lot going on. We do a lot of things. And as my older 2 get older and start needing to do more work, and now I'm homeschooling, 2 more. My son is going to need a little bit more focused work this time. I don't have as much time for it anymore. And so I do still teach classes at a local kitchen supply store here, and so I'm going to continue that. And then the business is not going away entirely, but I am starting to take a bit of a step back from it. But if you want to see my work, it is Alchemy Baking Co., and I do have an Instagram page. I haven't posted in a while, but if you want to see what I do, that is what I do over there. The next question was, since caring for kids, homeschooling, and running a household is a lot of work, how do you manage it all? Yeah, that is an excellent question. It is a lot. If you don't know, I do run those 2 businesses. I do run my co-op, or not run it. I'm the chair, and there is a board, and there is lots of help. I don't do it on my own. I couldn't do it on my own. It would be a full-time job, but I do. That is a big part of what I do. And then I do, of course, homeschool all of my kiddos and run our household. And so yes, that is a lot. I do a lot. I am fully aware of it. I am constantly working on learning to say no and trying to find things I can take off my plate because it is a lot. But basically the way I run is I am a night owl. So I typically stay up late at night once my kiddos have gone to bed, and that's when I'm able to devote my, my full focus to all of the other things. That's when I do all my co-op work. That's when I do all the work here mostly, except for filming, because I need daylight for that. But all my editing, all my commenting, all of that, I typically do that in the evening time once my children have gone to bed. My littlest two go to bed with my husband around like 8:30 or 9. My older two get about a half an hour to an hour of like time to be down here without the little ones before they go to bed. And so sometimes I'll start with my little kids go to bed, and sometimes I'll start when my older kids go to bed. But that is, and I typically work till about like maybe midnight, 1, 2 in the morning. And so I know that like seems really late to a lot of people, but on the flip side of that, I do sleep in till 8:30 or 9. In some, that is typically I sleep until 8:30 or 9 because we have the luxury of doing that. My older girls, they're tweens moving into teens, and so they sleep in late anyways. My little two typically, wake up around that 8:30, and either hang out in bed with me or, they might get a little bit of screen time in the morning while I'm waking up and getting ready and all of those things. So it's a system that works for us. I found that when I can have like, it's quiet in the house, nothing needs to be done, like the dog's sleeping, I can really get a lot of quality, uninterrupted, focused time. And that is the system that just works best for me. I sometimes we'll pick up the house at night, but a lot of times, like, it's the first thing I do when I come down in the mornings is I'll run around and pick up a little bit. That's just the system that works for me. I know a lot of people like to wake up to a fresh house, but for me, it's like it kind of gets me up and gets me moving. It gets my blood flowing, and it's just a system that kind of I've developed and it works for me. So I kind of like, I don't do that at night. I do my work at night, and I get up and I tidy in the mornings, and kind of set us up for our day. And that's just a system that has been working. That's how I can try to fit in all of these things. And it is a balancing act. And some weeks we'll do a lot of homeschool, and then some weeks, we're basically just doing the basics because I have other things that I need to work on. And that's okay. That's part of why we homeschool year round, because if we do, if I am backlogged over here with these things, then it's okay that we, don't hit the books as hard this week while I focus on this stuff, because we can get back to that later on. So that and travel are the two reasons why we chose to just homeschool year round. We just don't stop homeschooling because it does allow us the freedom to be flexible with, what we're trying to do. So that was a lengthy answer, but that was definitely a challenging question. That was a challenge. That is something that I'm working on. That's something I'm struggling with all the time. And if I ever find the magic ticket to it, I will let you know. But of course, I'll keep you updated on new things that I try. And if you guys have suggestions on things that that have been working really well for you, I'd love to hear them as well. So next question is, what are your go-to meals that take little time to whip up when you're pressed for time? I'm going to be flat out honest here. When I'm pressed for time, it's takeout, guys. I mean, it is that when things are crazy, we tend to eat out way too often. And so that is something I'm working on. But when I am trying to cook at home, one of my favorite things to do, it isn't necessarily like a super quick thing, but it's what helps me when I'm pressed for time, I cook a whole chicken at the beginning of every week, like a rotisserie chicken, like the whole thing. It saves me money. I'm only cooking like basically one time because then I'm just reheating that shredded chicken over and over and over and over again. And then I love when I cook meals, I love to cook double so that I can freeze the other portion. So then if I'm pressed for time, I can just pull something out of the freezer, throw it in the oven, and that's all I have to do. So I don't necessarily have like any super quick meals other than maybe like spaghetti and tortellini. My kids love spaghetti and tortellini. And I do just use the jar sauce, with a package of, it's not necessarily from scratch, but, it works. And they'll eat it, and it does contain some kind of vegetables, right? So that's probably like our fastest go-to thing. But just setting myself up for success is more of a strategy that I use. And so when I do have time to cook, I will cook double so that I have a freezer stash that I can pull from. So meals that I love doing for that are things like stuffed shells or lasagna. We don't do a lot of lasagna anymore because my husband went vegan right before the pandemic. So, but I do have a vegan lasagna that's really good, that freezes beautifully, which I got off of Pinterest. So I will share that down below with you guys if you are interested in that. But we have a vegan shepherd's pie that works wonderfully for that. Stuffed shells, because my kiddos do still eat that and I still eat that. Let's see, what else? I used to have this like rice thing, like an enchilada rice thing that we used to do a lot. I haven't done it because it had meat in it, but I'm sure I could veganize that somehow. But those are kind of what I do, what I have, and then we just pull them from the freezer. So not necessarily things that I make super fast. I really honestly can't think of any other than like maybe just a piece of chicken with some, you know, a boxed rice or something. So definitely we lean towards the prepared, you know, packaged things when we're trying to be quick. But that is that. So next up, was your oldest ever in public school or public pre-K? Or did you do it on your own from the beginning? And so for this one, and I do have a couple of videos where we've talked about this before. If I can find them, I'll link them down below for you guys. And they are older videos, so excuse the quality if you watch them. But basically, my oldest struggled really hard with being, number one, separated from me, but also being in like people-y places, for lack of a better term. She struggled being in crowds or being in groups of people, especially when the children were being loud, because she does have some sensory issues. And so I had a not great kindergarten experience myself. Like, I cried every day. I still remember crying every day. I remember my kindergarten teacher was so mean, and I remember hating it. And I felt like that gave me like I could have done so much more with my learning if I didn't have that like negative association with school. And I didn't want that for her. I didn't want to put her into an environment where she was uncomfortable every day. You know, because when you're little like that, you don't learn how to cope with that well, you know. And so my sister-in-law was homeschooling, so I kind of was like getting a taste of it and seeing like how it was going for her. And I thought, you know, maybe we should just try it. Maybe we should give her one more year before she actually goes into the school system, to see how, you know, like just give her one more year to grow a little and to get more comfortable. She was starting to show a lot of progress as far as like we had put her in dance classes and things like that. And she was showing progress. And so I was like, let's just give it one more year. Let's do this for 1 year and see how it goes. We had already had a second daughter, and we're planning on having more children. So I knew I was going to be home anyways. And so, but that 1 year, we just fell in love with it. We fell in love with being able to go with my husband when he was traveling for work. We fell in love with like not having to get up and go places, because as I said, I'm a night owl and I don't like waking up in the morning, and she doesn't like waking up in the morning, and she's not a morning person. And so it just fit our life so well that once that year was up, there was no question that she would be going into school. And so now it is, if they so choose to, they are welcome to try it out. But I hope that they don't. Not because, now, mind you, I was a public school teacher and I support our public schools, you know, like people need an education. It's important. Public schools are important to provide that for people. Like, I support them 100%. But, you know, there are things that are happening in the world now and in the public school system now that, you know, don't necessarily give me the best feelings. And if they don't have to be a part of that, I'm okay with that, you know. So and also, I went to college, I got a degree, I'm happy I went, it was a great experience, all of that. I'm one of the fortunate ones that didn't get stuck with a lot of student loans and things, even though my husband did. So, but I also have learned that, like, it's not the be all end all. Like there are so many trades out there where you can go to trade school, which takes less time, less money, less, less, and you can have just as quality of a life as if somebody that goes to college. So to me, even though I'm glad I went, I'm glad I had my experiences, it's not something I'm pushing for my children. If they choose that route, we 100% support that route. And if they don't choose that route, if they choose to do something else, that's okay too. So do I feel like they need to go to a public school for high school to achieve, a good life? No, I don't. And so if they want to experience that, if that's something that they feel that they need or would want to do, then we also support that. But no, long story, I think that kind of got convoluted there, but long story short, no, none of my children have ever gone to any kind of school. They do things like co-ops and extracurricular activities like art classes and dance. They used to do dance classes. And so it's not that they haven't been in any kind of class setting before, but no, they have never done any official like public or private schooling before. So next question. This one is, was it easy for you to choose a history curriculum? I'm on the hunt for my 5th grader. Okay. No, it was not. It is history and science to me seem to be the hardest subject. And I was actually just gonna say for secular, but honestly, I have a lot of people on YouTube that I watch who are not secular, and they struggle with this too. There just really isn't. It's not that, I don't know, they're just, for secular, there's not a lot of options, first and foremost. And then it just seems like this subject can be so biased. Like people just put so much of their own bias onto those two specific subjects, and that it just really is so hard to find what you want. And so, no, it was not easy for me to find a history curriculum. And I did end up buying 2 different ones because I was very torn. Like the two, basically for secular homeschooling, you have History Quest or Curiosity Chronicles. I mean, there are other options like Common Core Knowledge and the Big History Project, which I learned about and will be using. And there are some other ones out there. But those are basically your 2 big ones, and I ended up buying both of them because I just simply couldn't decide. They both had sales. It was in my budget to go ahead and do it. I figured I could resell the one that I didn't want, and so I did end up buying both of them. I now know that I prefer one over the other now that I have them in my hands. And I did share a video on this, so I'll link it here and down below in the comments. We did land on Curiosity Chronicles. So I do have History Quest. I don't know that I'm going to sell it because I do think some of it could be valuable. Did I need both of them? Absolutely not. But I couldn't make a choice based on what, even on the samples and all of the things, all of the videos that I watched about people using it. And I needed to have it in my hands to know how I felt about it. And I do think I'm leaning towards Curiosity Chronicles being the one that I would recommend. I do not have the book yet. That is the one thing that I'm waiting on because I ordered that in print. And so I cannot do like an exact side-by-side yet to see, but that video will be coming once I have that book in my hand and I get a chance to film that video where I will share side-by-side the 2 of those and show you guys, what they're like, the features that they both have, so that you can decide what's going to be best for you. So no, it is not easy. And in fact, for my oldest, I am basically compiling several different history programs all together to make something that is going to work for us. And I, of course, will be sharing that as well when that is coming out. So the last question that I'm going to answer here is for a little young one in my life. Hi, Harper. My daughter helped me come up with these this or that. So Harper really enjoyed that video when I did that, and so this is for her. So a little this or that. So my daughter helped me come up with these questions. The first one is Mario or Luigi, and I've got to go Mario all the way here. I love Mario. He was my, I was a big Nintendo kid growing up, and so he has my heart, so definitely Mario. The next one was pizza or pasta. Pasta's gonna win here, but only by a little bit because I do love pizza too, but I love me some pasta. The next this or that is going to be pencil or paintbrush. I am going to say paintbrush because as far as like creating, I would rather paint than draw something. Painting is more fun for me. And Disney or Universal, and Disney's gonna win out here. Of course, you guys know I love me some Disney, but only by a small margin because Universal is a lot of fun too. We just love theme parks around here. So that is gonna be it for me today. As promised, here are the instructions for the giveaway. So to be entered to win the giveaway, please give this video a thumbs up and drop me this emoji down in the comments. The giveaway is for a $50 Amazon gift card because it's curriculum time and we all have books we're gonna be looking to purchase, so hopefully that will help you guys along your way. I will end the giveaway next Thursday, the 27th at 10 a.m., which is like time that this video is dropping this Thursday. And so get your entries in by Thursday, April 27th by 10 a.m. And that is when I will choose the giveaway winner. So thanks again to all of you for helping me grow this community. I'm so happy you're all here. I'm coming back and chatting with me. And I am looking forward to continuing to share with you guys. And I think that's all that I'm going to talk with you guys about today. I hope you'll come back and chat with me again real soon, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.